Court is expected to issue a long-awaited ruling on handguns today. The decision could spell out if the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to own guns. Sabrina Fang is live at the High Court with this and other key decisions that are being made by the justices this morning. Sabrina.
Good morning, Sukanya. The Supreme Court will make a ruling on that D.C. gun ban later this morning, probably around 10 o'clock. The ban has been in place for 32 years. Meanwhile, the justices yesterday made a very controversial ruling about child rapists.
Okay. On the gun ban thing. You know what? There's a town in Texas where it's illegal not to have a gun. And you know what the crime rate is there? There is no crime rate, because everyone from grandma to the fucking 19-year-old is carrying a gun. And you know what? That's going to stop crime right away. So, in my view, in this country, everyone should have a gun. You know what? That'll stop crime. That'll stop all kinds of shit going on to people. You understand? Even the police aren't going to be bullying people around. You know what? Because the criminal, if he wants a gun, he's gonna get a gun. Even if he has to steal it from the police, it's the honest person that's not gonna have anything to defend himself with.
Saying they do not deserve the death penalty. In Louisiana, Patrick Kennedy was sentenced to die for raping his 8-year-old daughter. The assault was so brutal the child needed emergency surgery. But now Kennedy will get off death row. In a 5-4 ruling, the justices said in the absence of death, the death penalty is essentially off the table.
You know what? If you rape a child, I believe that your life should be forfeited. What the fuck, an 8-year-old child? What the fuck you get out of that shit? What the fuck is that? Oh, Jesus. What, she tight? What the fuck? That's a sick motherfucker. You know what they ought to do to that motherfucker? They ought to kill him publicly. Death by lions or some shit. You know what? They ain't got the guts. Tie him to that fucking chair, that fucking table you see there. I'll drive a pickaxe through his fucking heart. Motherfuckers like that I have no sympathies for. They should die. You know what? Be ripped apart by horses. You know what? If they pass a law where everyone can have a gun, they should be tied to a board as target. You know, the hell with those motherfuckers.
In my opinion, the rape of a child is more heinous and more hideous than a homicide.
You know what? I agree with her. Homicide, you just kill that motherfucker.
Because the child survives with what has happened.
Supporters of the decision said children are often sexually abused by relatives, and victims' families don't want the burden of capital punishment. But the ruling derailed efforts by nearly a dozen states to execute child rapists, angering lawmakers who vowed to write laws to circumvent the court or wait for a change in the makeup of the justices.
Here we go. A bunch of fucking dicks. They're sitting there going blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, these rapists are raping children on park benches, in broad daylight, and all this shit. And where do they go? They go to a mental hospital, this, and that. No, they should be thrown into a pit of hungry polar bears. That's what they should be fucking done. You know what? They should cover their penises, their dicks, in fucking honey, and stake them out for ants to eat those motherfuckers out. That's what the fuck they should be doing to them. Not saying that, oh, this is inhuman.
Someone retires from that more liberal wing, you're not going to see the balance of power on the court change.
Justice Anthony Kennedy was the swing vote in this case. He said the decision reflects evolving standards of decency, but the High Court...
Decency? How decent do you think that rapist is? I bet you if they raped this fucking child, that motherfucker would be off his hinges, freaking out.
Also ruled executions are not totally confined to murder.
They left open questions about national security, espionage, things of that nature that are a whole different threat to the country.
You know what? And a child being raped is not worthy of a fucking death sentence? Is this what you're saying, dickhead? You know what? This dickhead here, if they rape this child, he'll fucking shoot him. He'll get a gun and shoot the motherfucker himself. This guy's full of shit. All these motherfuckers are full of shit. If you rape a child, I think your penis should be removed from you with a rusty fucking knife.
Now, including Patrick Kennedy, nationwide, only 2 men have been given the death sentence for sexually abusing children. Now those 2 men will get new sentences. Kennedy is expected to get life. Live at the Supreme Court, Sabrina Fang for the CW11 Morning News.